What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. 10 of the worst AFL draft picks in history. Shout out to my dog, Kalen's always big ups to him, my boy. Looking forward to this. Very looking forward to this. Just 10 bad ones. Hey, listen, every AFL, it happens to every team, every sport. You always want to draft the one shitty. You always draft the shitty one at times, you know? You think it's good, you see them play, next thing you know, they don't turn out good. It happens. But how bad were they? So we are finna check out and we are finna see what's on. Boys and girls, hope you guys are doing good and amazing. Don't forget to talk the video, sub as well as always. On the way to 6K. Nice, pretty convenient, very happy for that. Outside of that, boys and girls, let's just start. Let's get it.
Worst draft picks in AFL history. As a top 10 selection, Lawrence Angwin's AFL career was a massive disappointment.
Lawrence.
He failed to play a single game for Adelaide and was delisted after just one season at the club. Angwin is most infamous for turning up to a training session with Carlton while under the influence of recreational substances, a decision that ultimately led to his departure from the AFL.
Yeah, that's crazy. My boy's rookie year was going crazy. Now, whatever he used it for, we don't know what his purpose. It could have been for a coping, but bro, my guy. I mean, talk about just not caring. Just F it, man. F it.
After an impressive showing at the draft combine, finishing in the top 10 for both the 3-kilometer time trial and kicking accuracy, Lucas Cook looked like a promising prospect for the Demons. However, his AFL career never materialised as expected. Cook struggled to make an impact, failing to play a single senior game for Melbourne.
So what was he doing?
Even in the VFL, he fought to secure his spot. Ultimately, he was delisted after just 2 seasons, marking him as one of Melbourne's most disappointing draft picks. Glenn Gorman's AFL career is as brief as it is forgettable. After being drafted by Sydney in 1994 but failing to play a game, Gorman headed back to Victoria, joining North Melbourne in the 1995 pre-season draft. He managed just 2 games for the Kangaroos, with the only notable moment in his career being that he played in the same match where Wayne Carey kicked a career-high 11 goals. Gorman was delisted shortly after, making his mark in the league a fleeting one. Mark Kinnear was a top 4 pick in the 1996.
I do wonder though, like, how big of a jump is it from like, I guess not. I don't want to say like the minor leagues, but like the lower league to the AFL. Like how big of a jump is it heading to the AFL? Like, because the first 3 didn't even play a game except for the last dude. I mean, holy crap! Like, you know, I'm like, you know, you're a top overall pick, like, you know, your first round pick. I am expecting you to like produce. You can't do that, dude. Yeah,
draft, but his AFL career was remarkably short-lived. Kinnear managed only 6 games over 2 seasons for the Swans before sitting out the entire 1999 season.
Why?
He was traded to Collingwood in 2000, but just as his time there began, he decided to step away from footy altogether, making his career one of the more mysterious and unfulfilled stories of the late 90s draft era.
That's more of like a what if.
David Trotter was part of what is widely considered a disappointing 2003 draft class, and unfortunately, his career reflected that. Trotter showed flashes of talent, but his time in the AFL was brief, managing just 7 games over 4 years on the Kangaroos list. His standout moment, nearly kicking the game-winning goal on debut. However, that remains his lone highlight, as his career fizzled out soon after. Trotter is yet another case of unfulfilled potential from the early 2000s draft era. Scott Gumbleton looked like a surefire AFL star when Essendon selected him with the number 2 pick in 2006. Standing at 197 centimeters with strong marking ability and athleticism, Gumbleton seemed destined to become a matchup nightmare for opposition defenders. Unfortunately, his career never got going due to a string of injuries. In his first 3 seasons, he played just 5 games, a sign of what was to come for the unfortunate forward. Gumbleton managed only 35 games in total between 2007 and 2013 before injuries forced him into early retirement in 2014. Another promising career derailed by injuries. Paddy McCartan was widely regarded as a future star key forward when St Kilda used their prize #1 draft pick in 2014 to select him. He had the size and physical capabilities to make a real impact. But McCartan's career at the Saints was marred by a string of concussions that never allowed him to gather consistent momentum. Ultimately, his time with St Kilda ended in disappointment as repeated head injuries forced him out of the game, and he was delisted. However,
that's the thing about professional sports that sucks. You always get the guys who just get bad luck with injuries and it just ruins their career. Like Gumbleton, it's like, especially him, just the concussions. It's always the injuries that one which kind of suck, because you could label them as like not like a buzz, but like a bad pick, but probably because the injuries kind of screwed them over. But even if you weren't really performing before the injuries, bro, like we got nothing to talk about. I mean, you were trash before, and you're still gonna be trash after. Like, you weren't producing us before you got hurt. Now, obviously, the concussions take a big, a major part after having. Listen, thank God I ain't never had one. I promise you that. Thank you, God. Because, boy.
There is a silver lining to McCartan's story, as he made a remarkable comeback with Sydney in 2022, selected through the supplemental selection period and finding new life in the AFL.
That's what's up. Melbourne's
selection of Luke Molan in the 2001 draft, often referred to as the Super Draft, ended up being a major miss. Taken at pick 9, Molan had the unfortunate distinction of not playing a single AFL game during his time with the Demons. Early injuries, including a broken leg, cartilage damage, and a broken clavicle, meant Molan never had a chance to establish himself. Given the strength of the 2001 draft, the pick stings even more for Melbourne, as choosing almost anyone else at that point would have been a better result. Molan was delisted twice by the Demons, first in 2003 and again after a short return in 2004, cementing his place as one of Melbourne's draft busts. Hawthorn selected Mitch Thorpe with the 6th pick in the 2006 draft, hoping he'd become a key tall player for the team. However, Thorpe's AFL career never took off. In 3 seasons with the Hawks, he only managed 2 games, with injuries and poor form defining his time at the club. The hype surrounding Thorpe quickly fizzled, and Hawthorn was left
3 years, 2 games. I mean, I know he was hurt. Like, he had he had injuries, bad injuries. But golly, man.
Disappointed as their high draft pick failed to deliver. To make matters worse for the Hawks, Joel Selwood was taken just 1 pick later by Geelong. Selwood would go on to become one of the AFL's most decorated players, leaving Hawthorn fans wondering what might have been if they'd gone with Selwood instead of Thorpe. In 2002, the Western Bulldogs selected Tim Walsh with the 4th overall pick, expecting him to become a key forward for the club. Walsh seemed to have all the physical attributes needed to succeed in the AFL: height, athleticism, and a strong mark. Yet, between 2003 and 2007, he played only a single game before being delisted. It wasn't that Walsh lacked talent. His 1 game showed glimpses of potential as a developing young forward. Unfortunately, injuries and form issues kept him sidelined for most of his career. Despite the Bulldogs' initial high hopes, Walsh never became the key player they had envisioned, making this pick one of the biggest draft letdowns in their history.
Some of the players were just kind of boo boo. It's just that simple. Some were just outright just crap. Some were just unfortunate with injuries, but there were just some crap. Like the first 3 guys we saw, like none of them played like a game during their time. Like bro's getting delisted after first season there. Like, how crap do you have to be as a top overall pick? I got high expectations for you, bro. And I have to delist you after a season. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hope you guys enjoy the videos. Always shout out to my dog Kaylin as always. Don't forget to talk the video, sub as well. See you guys soon. Peace.